15-minute yoga break, focus on hips. We'll begin in child's pose, bringing our big toes to touch at the back of the mat, sinking the hips towards the heels, bringing the knees as wide as you'd like, and walking the fingertips forward to melt the heart towards the mat. Your forehead can either rest on a block or on the mat. In this child's pose, the wider you extend your knees away from each other, the more sensation you're going to feel in your hips. Be gentle since we will be taking several pretty intense hip postures, so it's okay to be more gentle with less sensation at the beginning of this little practice. In this child's pose, just bring your attention to your breath, and we'll begin to build a counted breath, 4 beats in 4 beats out. On your next exhale, allow all of the breath to release from your lungs, and we'll inhale in together for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. On your exhale, release for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Now just begin to breathe back at a natural pace, but know that you can come back to this counted breath whenever you need something to mentally focus on. Let's make our way to a tabletop position by pressing through the palms and coming to stack shoulders over our wrists and our hips over our knees. Let's take a couple of cat and cow postures here. On your inhale, tilt the tailbone up, drop the belly, and look forward for cow pose. On your exhale, roll the base of the spine, tuck the chin, and press up as if you were a Halloween cat. On your inhale, drop the belly, look forward. And on your exhale, roll the spine, tuck the chin, cat pose. Take one more round of this on your own breath, noticing how your body feels today. Then we'll eventually come back to a neutral spine. Let's make our way to a lizard pose by bringing our right foot outside of both of your palms here. So both your hands are in towards each other on the inner side of the right foot. Bend generously in this right leg here and notice your left hip flexor start to get a stretch as well as your right hip. You can either remain on the palms here, or you can lower your forearms to a block or even to the mat. Be gentle here and notice what your body is telling you it's capable of today. There's no better or worse variation. Always being gentle and kind with our bodies. Take deep breaths here and notice if you have just a little more space to deepen into this lunge. Then we'll slowly start to back out of this pose if your forearms were on the ground or a block, coming back to our hands on the mat. Let's make our way to a pigeon pose by bringing our right ankle behind the left wrist and our right knee behind the right wrist. Allow the right ankle to cheat in towards the groin and tuck the back toes so that you can walk the back knee back and sink the hips closer towards the mat. If you notice this is a lot of sensation for the hips, you can bring a block or a blanket underneath the right hip or even underneath the left thigh. breathe here, either staying upright or letting your arms come down towards the mat or even the forehead towards the mat. Relax the muscles in the hips and the inner thighs. Relax the forehead muscles and anything that doesn't need to be working here. Take one more deep breath. And then we'll slowly start to come out of this posture by bringing the weight onto the right hip, and then with the left leg we'll bring it out from behind us and to cross up and over the right leg. So left foot can either stamp on the ground besides this right thigh, or you can come all the way to shoelace pose by bringing the knees relatively near each other to stack. Chest can be upright here as you breathe in this shoelace posture, or you can extend the fingertips forward for a gentle fold. Take one more deep breath in this posture. And then we'll release, bringing the left foot back over the right leg, extending both legs in front of you. Shake it out a little here, finding some intuitive movement. And we'll make our way back to our tabletop position so that we can come to lizard pose on the other side. Bringing our left foot this time outside the palms on the left side, either staying upright here, forearms to blocks, forearms to the ground, finding a variation that works for you and this side of your body. Our bodies are generally not symmetrical, so it's okay if one side looks different than another. Notice if you can soften in the hips, allowing yourself to gently deepen in this lunge. Take one more deep breath here. And we'll make our way to pigeon pose on the other side. Here, let's cross the left foot so that left ankle is coming behind right wrist and left knee is coming behind the left wrist. Here we can tuck the right toes to walk the right knee back so that our hips are coming towards the earth. Again, you can always bring a blanket or a block underneath the left hip here or the right thigh. You can stay upright in this posture, or you can lower down to the forearms or forehead to the mat. Breathe deeply and remember you can always come back to that counted breath in and out for 4 beats. Let's take one more deep breath in this pigeon pose. We'll slowly start to come out of the pose, lifting up if we were on the hands or the forearms, and then bringing the weight to the left hip so that we can swing the right leg up and over the left, either to plant beside the thigh or to cross all the way over so the knees are coming somewhat to stack, probably not perfectly, and that's okay. In this shoelace posture or shoelace variation, remember that you can stay upright or fold forward. It's really common to hold tension in your hips, so remember to be gentle and loving with yourself in all of these postures. Let's take one more breath in this shoelace posture. And then we'll start to make our way out by crossing the right leg back up and over, extending both legs and shaking out the legs. Let's make our way to our tabletop position once more, stacking our shoulders over our wrists and our hips over our knees. And in this tabletop position, we'll start to roll the tailbone in circles, creating some hip movement to balance out some of those still postures we took. It might feel silly to do some of these movements, but they can be really helpful for the hips and feel really good, so be curious to try. And we'll eventually come back to stillness here, and we'll lift our right foot up towards the sky as if it were planting on the ceiling behind us. From this position, go ahead and hug the heel in towards the glute, and then we'll start to draw circles with the knees so that we feel this movement in our hip socket. Good, and then we'll drop that right knee and we'll take it to the other side, lifting left foot towards the sky as if it were stamping on the ceiling. And then you can bring the foot in towards the glute and start to draw circles with the left knee this time. Good, and then we'll drop the left knee, coming back to our tabletop position, and then we'll make our way to our spine on our backs, however you want to get there. Once we are on our backs here, let's hug the knees into the chest, and then we'll bring our right ankle to stack over the left thigh and lift our feet for a figure four position, threading the right arm in through the hole so that it comes to interlace with your left hand behind your left thigh. With your right elbow here, press the right leg away from you as you hug that left leg in towards the body. Keep the feet flexed here to protect the knees in this figure four shape. Take one more breath here. And then we'll release and bring it to the other side. Let's bring our left ankle over our right thigh this time, opening up a figure four shape. Thread your left arm through the hole and lift your feet. Use your left elbow to press away from the left leg, and your right hand and your left hand interlace behind your leg to hug that right leg in towards the chest. Breathe here and keep your feet flexed. Let's go ahead and release this posture. Feel free to take some spinal twists here, hugging the knees into the chest, dropping the knees to one side of the body and then the other, finding some spinal twists, or making your way straight to our final posture, Shavasana, extending the feet out long, splaying to the sides, and letting your hands come beside you, palms facing up. Allow your eyes to close here, breathe deeply, and remain in this posture as long as you like.